iki ülkenin de
Both countries don't have a clear attitude towards terrorist organizations. Moreover, even if they say they're against those terrorist organizations, they have statements about those captured terrorists that they won't give back to us. I call out to my nation watching us on their screens. Do the leading countries of NATO give all kinds of support to Greece? Yes. Are they establishing bases in Greece? Yes. How will we believe them? Sweden is already an incubation center for terrorist organizations. They bring terrorists in their parliaments and make them talk there. They hold special events for them. They even have pro-PKK terrorists in their parliaments. Who are we going to trust? They will come to Turkey on Monday. Are they coming to persuade us? We're sorry, don't bother coming. First of all, we would not say yes to those who impose sanctions on Turkey to join the security organization NATO, because then NATO ceases to be a security organization and becomes a place where the representatives of terrorists are concentrated. It's impossible to say yes to this.
Tarik Oguzlu joins us from Antalya. He's a professor of international relations at Istanbul Aydın University. Tarik, thank you so much for your time. Most people seem to think that this is a starting position from Turkey. Do you agree?
I think yes and no. Let me explain first of all why I think it said yes, because all members of NATO try to secure their national interests from their own perspective, even though they are having a kind of collective gathering within NATO. Since the time 1953, Turkey has joined NATO as an alliance. It has proved its credibility towards its partners within NATO. This is very sure, actually. Turkey has taken part in each and every kind of foreign policy initiative undertaken by NATO as an alliance. And also, we should make it very clear that it is not only Turkey, but other members of the alliance, which has also in the past put forward their national sensitivities and priorities before the agenda of the alliance. Look at Germany and France, look at Hungary, look at other members of the alliance. Whenever any issue that came on the agenda of NATO, each and every member had put its national interests at the center. This is very unique, and this is very traditional. And regarding the latest crisis, if we deem it as a crisis, of course, Turkey is not an outlier. Turkish authorities are making it very clear that this particular issue, the so-called support to PKK and YPG instruments, are very much against Turkish national interests. So if it is an alliance, if we share our a kind of common security perception and commitment, if we are going to face each other as real allies, so we have to settle all kinds of problems we have between us. So this is something very common and understandable, I assume.
Yeah, Mevlut Çavuşoğlu, the Turkish foreign minister, says he has presented Turkish evidence to Sweden and Finland about how they have PKK terrorists in their country.
Yeah.
40,000 people have been killed in Turkey over the past 40 years by the PKK terror group. As you mentioned, Turkey has to regard its domestic security when it comes to external alliances like NATO. What has Sweden and what has Finland not understood about the PKK, which is designated as a terror group by the European Union? And you have PKK supporters flying the flag of their leader, which is illegal, and they're doing it in Sweden and not being challenged. And you have the Swedish ministers meeting with PKK sympathizers in meetings that are organized by PKK sympathizers to talk about that group's position in the Syrian war.
Okay, I think Turkey is very clear and keen on this point. PKK is considered to be as a security organization. It is not that much important how allies try to approach the solution process. It is something different. But the matter is that Turkey defines PKK as a terrorist organization that needs to be considered as such by other members of the alliance. Turkish decision makers have never disputed whenever the Americans defined Al-Qaeda or ISIS as terrorist organization, or any other kind of partner within NATO approaching any other terrorist organization from its own perspective. This is very clear. So if we are members, if we are going to survive as a collective community within this organization, we have to feel sympathy towards each other. So Turkey is requiring such kind of a sympathy. Actually, it is much more than sympathy, because as you have pointed out, Sweden and Finland have to prove their real commitment to Turkey's understanding of PKK as a terrorist organization. it is not, let me repeat once again what I have already mentioned. It is not that much important how you can deal with this particular problem. What matters is that you have to show solidarity with another member of the alliance, which defines PKK as an existential security threat to its security. Turkey is very keen on that. And this is also a problem not only between Turkey and Finland and Sweden on the one hand, but also it is a problem concerning Turkey's relations with other NATO members as well. I know it. This is quite clear and obvious to all of us. But we have to find a way to get rid of this problem, because Turkey is on the same page with other members of the alliance regarding how Russia has somehow damaged the security understanding and security situation in Europe. So Turkey has also taken side with other members of the alliance regarding how we can find a way to get rid of this Russian challenge. So Turkey is not an outlier on this particular problem as well. But we are very keen on this issue. So we have to see that Swedish and Finnish people are really committed to Turkey's ongoing struggle against PKK. This is a very important issue from Ankara's perspective.
Just finally, let's imagine that Sweden and Finland do eventually at some stage become members of the Western Military Alliance. Is that going to strengthen NATO? Is it going to be dangerous in terms of the possible Russian response?
It is also an open-ended question. At this particular moment in time, we are not in a position to offer a kind of clear-cut and convincing answer to this question. If you follow the latest explanation of Russian decision makers, Russia will do its best to make it as a crisis atmosphere as possible, in particular concerning its relations with these two Nordic countries, because Russians have made it very clear that we are very much against this idea. And also we know that there is a kind of fundamental division of opinion within the alliance itself as to how to approach Russia. To the best of my knowledge, Germans, French people are not that much hawkish against the Russian, so-called Russian challenge. They are trying to find a way to get rid of this problem as soon as possible. But if you face the problem from the American perspective, Americans are very determined to push Russia to the further corner and make it very clear that Russia gets, how can I say, panic out of this ongoing crisis. So all allies need to think very carefully regarding how this particular membership of Sweden and Finland might cause great tension in European security relations. So you have to take into account how Russia might approach this problem. We cannot easily dismiss or ignore or underestimate Russian reactions. We have to find a way to make sure that Russians also feel themselves safe and secure within European security architecture. So all members of NATO should contribute to this particular eventuality. That's why membership of Finland and Sweden might further cause tensions within alliance and also in relations between NATO and Russia on the other hand.
Okay.
This is a very delicate and fragile issue.
So quite clearly, Tarik, no easy answers at all. Really appreciate the analysis. Tarik Oguzlu in Antalya.